We're talking about Goldman Sachs. They say they are set to spend tens of millions of dollars on discounted crypto investments. This is according to a report by Reuters. The investment bank is looking at crypto firms whose valuations have taken hits after the implosion of FTX. As we all remember, FTX filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on November 11th, sending the industry into a deeper downward spiral than we were already on. Will, welcome back to the show. We missed you. I'm going to toss it off to you first. What do you think of this?
Yeah, we actually have another report coming from the Financial Times this morning. They seem to have found the $5.4 billion hole in Alameda's and FTX's balance sheet. And this is venture capital money that we're seeing float into a lot of different pockets. This report, again, from Financial Times, you can go look it up online. It's pretty damning evidence of the misallocation of capital that flowed through FTX and Alameda. It goes through a lot of different companies. And now I think people are going to start asking questions about those companies that received funding from these teams. How did that funding get there? Was it responsible for that funding to go there? And was it client funds that went into these different venture capital bets? There's a lot of different teams on this list. Don't know exact number off the top of my head, but we're looking at dozens of different crypto companies that are essential to the space. I think the largest one was Genesis Mining. It was about a $500 million investment, and just go down the list, there's even more. So this is pretty big news to tee off the morning. Just tying it back into the Goldman Sachs news, it makes sense for Goldman Sachs to step in, right? Like, prices are down. There's still some good teams out there that got rugged by FTX and Alameda, and now they're trying to figure it out, how to make the next best step. Goldman Sachs is coming in there with their big banker money. They can buy up and scoop up a lot of smaller teams for cheaper valuations and make more money. And that's how you do it in the banking world. That's how you make a legacy. Zach, I want to kick the story up to you, get your take on it.
Buying the dip, eh? Goldman Sachs buying the dip, but this time crypto firms, not crypto coins, just FYI. TYOR, whatever. Anyway, I think this is interesting because Fidelity obviously is rolling out its crypto offering. Goldman Sachs is trying to be here for the long haul. So you have all these traditional brokerage firms who are saying, okay, this is an opportunity for us. Everyone's freaking out because all these poorly regulated offshore exchanges are blowing up left and right. This is an opportunity for us to cement our positions as a place where people can go and get crypto. So I think it's really fascinating that Goldman Sachs is out here peddling this exclusive to Reuters, saying, "Hey, we're on a shopping spree, a little bit of a pre-holiday run-up where they're going to buy up some firms and make some additional investments in what they see as probably continuing to be a part of their business going forward." So kind of interesting. Wasn't really expecting that this would be announced so publicly, but for Goldman Sachs to say, "Hey, if FTX isn't going to get the job done, Wall Street might be able to do so." That's quite a signal. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Jen?
Yeah, so just off the back of that, it does really seem like they're seeing the opportunity and they're seizing that opportunity. I think their messaging is really interesting here. They said that there's an increased need for trustworthy players in the industry. I think that's really kind of ironic, right? This industry was set up to be trustworthy because the traditional banks, the traditional financial system was not. And now here's Goldman Sachs coming in to save the day because they think that, the industry needs to be a little bit more trustworthy and that they are the best people to do that. Wendy, what do you think? What do you think of this messaging?
It's kind of funny and ironic at the same time because I think some of the companies that they're going to come in and buy the dip on are going to be more traditional firms. And I think the collapse of FTX was really done by traditional financial people, not necessarily crypto people. But at the same time, I think that this is bad for the crypto industry as a whole. We're having a centralized third-party predatory industry come in and swoop some of these systems up or whatever it is that they're buying. Who knows what they're buying yet? So it's going to be a bad thing for the industry because realistically, when you look at it, the banking industry is probably one of the biggest Ponzi schemes and scams in the world. But it is what it is, and it's going to continue to happen. And it's just really sad for the crypto industry as a whole. And yes, it's also sad for Bitcoin too.
Some good stats in here nonetheless. They've invested in 11 crypto companies, Goldman Sachs has. Their team on the crypto side is more than 70 folks now, including a 7-person crypto options and derivatives trading desk. So it's wild to see Goldman Sachs taking this seriously while other people, Jamie Dimon, are out here throwing shade on the entire sector itself. So Goldman interesting. Wouldn't have put them as growing their team, growing their effort, and obviously putting a little bit of money, obviously not huge by big bank standards, but a little bit of money into buying up some deals. So interesting to see. I saw Will and Wendy go, so I'm gonna let you duke it out.
Really
I want to
quick.
fight Wendy really quick though.
Oh gosh,
Let's
here we
fight.
go.
Hey, I'm going to fight right now. Let me tell you something. JP Morgan, JP Diamond, they are all very invested and interested in crypto. They just have to play the part to mainstream media news. And as always, you guys don't trust mainstream media news. And if you are, make sure to look at multiple different sources. Go ahead, Will. You can take it now.
I don't think this is bad news, okay? The fact is Goldman Sachs exists right now. They're going to exist tomorrow. They're going to exist in 10 years. So why not embrace them and allow them to move into this space? Yes, there's some cronyism there. Yes, there's some access to resources a lot of other people in crypto don't have. But why not usher them in? If they're going to exist, allow them to move into the space and be better actors than FTX is. I mean, crypto obviously couldn't even police itself. So, maybe we deserve Goldman Sachs to come in and swoop up a bunch of companies for cheap. And Zach, what you pointed out, they have a 70-person team. They're doing a lot of due diligence on these things, and they're going to give life to a lot of these projects that are probably good. They're probably fine. They just don't have capital anymore because FTX rugged them. So I think this is a good thing. I think if you saw this 12 months ago, Wendy, you would have been pretty happy to see, Goldman Sachs is stepping into space. I think it's only because this comes on the heels of FTX and a lower price movement that you're looking at being like, I'm a little skeptical, and you put the tinfoil hat back on.
The tinfoil crown, okay? It's the tinfoil queen crown.
Queen Wendy.
No, but just as long as we still have access to true decentralized products and DEXs, and they don't try to eliminate code, because code is language, is very important, that we need to keep reminding people that, I'm fine with it. It doesn't matter anyways. The big banks, the people with money are going to win. The underdogs were just kind of too lazy to step up and do anything about it, sadly.
Damn, that was like a call to revolution. That was nice. You were trying to you're trying to get people out there, get the pitchforks out. That was nice.